Welcome to the Rotary Time Show, a public service program presented by Rotary District 7610. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and discuss how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and world communities. I'm your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. A Rotary Area Assistant Governor plays a vital role in supporting and strengthening Rotary clubs across a district. They serve as the bridge between the district and the club leadership, providing guidance, encouragement, and resources to ensure that each club is successful. Joining me remotely is Rotarian Wes Shortridge, who is the Assistant Governor for Area 5 in District 7610 for the 2024-25 Rotary year. Welcome, ADG Wes, to the Rotary Time Show.
Thank you, Deborah.
Yeah, we're glad that you could make us. It's always nice. We hear a lot from our presidents, but we sometimes like to hear from our area governors because you all are just as busy sometimes as the district governor, themselves. So I'm glad you were able to be with us today. We're going to start by having you just give us a little bit about your background. Tell us about where you're from, maybe your profession, and then what drew you to the Rotary Club of Warrenton.
Well, I'm a Virginia native in every sense of the word. My family was at Jamestown, and we've been here ever since. Was born in Fairfax Hospital and grew up around Manassas. I finished a doctorate degree from Evangel University in Missouri. Have a wife, Linda, and two children, Amanda and Josiah, both grown, Amanda married. And I'm a local pastor in Bealeton, Virginia. Work with the American Red Cross as a disaster spiritual care responder. I am a local sheriff's chaplain for Fauquier County, and I also teach at Ethnos College locally here. So I'm pretty busy, and of course, busy with Rotary. I went to Rotary because, well, I was invited, and it seemed like a place where I could meet a lot of people and encounter a lot of things in my community. I kind of joined to meet people and develop connections, but instead I found probably my best friends and family for life in Rotary.
Absolutely. And how about the Warrenton Club? That seems like a very unique place. In fact, it's the home of our district governor.
It is, yeah. We have a district governor and an assistant district governor all in one club. We are about a 100-year-old club and do a lot of things. We are very involved in the Rotary Foundation and very involved in a lot of community projects. Club of about 70 people, and good people, and they've become my family.
Oh, wonderful. Let's talk about your journey in Rotary. How did your journey in Rotary evolve? In other words, what inspired you? Because there are many roles that we can take on within a district, but what inspired you to step into the role of the area governor?
Well, the main thing that inspired me was our district governor, Amelia Stansel. I have trouble telling her no, and never have been able to, and she asked. But I'd been on our board for about 10 years locally, the club board, and had been a president about 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Went to Rotary Leadership Institute, which is a game changer for Rotary. It gives you an idea of what Rotary is doing around the world. Got really impressed and wanted to be a bigger part of what Rotary is doing. And when asked to be assistant district governor, I felt like it was an opportunity to find more friends and family in Rotary and also make a very deep difference in our community and hopefully the world.
Absolutely. And I think you put a lot of miles on your car too, I'm sure, heading up all the various clubs in your area because you're also having to be involved with what they're doing as well.
Yeah, when you're rural like we are, we're in Fauquier County, our clubs are not a mile apart. They're 15 or 20 miles apart. But I enjoy the meeting the clubs, and I actually am district governor for 2 E-clubs, so that's pretty easy. It's their Zoom meetings.
Oh, how exciting, especially with an E-club. All right, let's talk about your responsibilities. For those in our viewing audience who might not be familiar, we hear the word district governor a lot. We kind of maybe even know what they do because we see them on the road a lot. What are those main responsibilities that you have as an area governor?
Well, the assistant governor mostly serves between the governor and local clubs. I have 6 clubs, and there are 12 of us assistant governors. So we serve mostly as a liaison between the district and Rotary International and the clubs. We help strengthen the clubs. We coach and support and encourage presidents and the club leadership. Kind of help the clubs see what they need to see about growth and how they can connect the clubs to one another so they can do even larger projects and work together. Connect them with Rotary's purposes and Rotary's main themes, and help promote the Rotary Foundation so that money goes throughout the world, changing the world. And mostly walk alongside club presidents and help them see things and encourage them to do things.
That's wonderful. Do you help with the development of maybe the other board members, the president-elect, the president nominee? Do you also help with maybe building their capacity as well?
Yeah, we try to keep clubs with about a 3-year bench, I suppose would be the right word there. And so I try to come alongside the incoming president and support and help the club develop a vision that lasts for the 3 years and help build some continuity between that.
And we know how important that is. In fact, we hear that a lot lately about, continuity. How do we continue to build? It's just not a one and off, but we build from year to year. Has that been pretty successful, you think? Because I think this year, more than any other year, we've talked more about that.
Yeah, I think it's the only way to build a strong organization. One year, seems like a president in 1 year. For 6 months, they're the new person, and then for 6 months, they're the outgoing person, and they get little done. But if we see it as a president leading into another president and leading in, we can get some pretty phenomenal things done.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you. How about challenges? Because I'm sure it's not always easy. I've been an area governor before, and we've had clubs sometimes that have some little issues and some challenges that you have to step in to help resolve. What are some of your biggest challenges maybe that you've faced?
I think every challenge we have in the world when people conflict or lose heart is because we've lost sight of something bigger than we are. Whether we look at our country right now, or whether we look at local politics, or whether we look at a church that I'm part of or a Rotary Club, we lose sight of the bigger picture. So most of the challenges are met when we remember why we're a Rotary Club, why we've joined over 1 million Rotarians around the world, and how much difference we make and how important what we do is to our lives, and how important our friendship is. Most of the conflicts resolve when I just help them think of higher things.
Oh, wonderful. Do you ever have to remind your club members or a club of the 4-way test? Does that help to also bring some resolution when there is a conflict?
I think it does. I think that's one of our higher things in Rotary. We see something bigger, and that something bigger is judging what we think, say, or do by the 4-way test. So is it the truth that fair to all concerned, build goodwill and better friendships, and beneficial to all concerned? That draws us to a higher thought. We think about one another. What I enjoy about Rotary is it is extremely diverse. Mm-hmm. It's not political. It's not religious. It's people coming together for something bigger. And the 4-way test draws us around something that's bigger than whatever divides us. And so, yeah, reminding them that there are principles that we live by that's bigger than our divisions creates strong people and creates good friendships with people that I would never be friends with apart from Rotary.
Absolutely. Great. Well said. How do you yourself as an area governor define success within your clubs or within your area? What might that look like?
Well, we're rural, so it's not always huge clubs. I think it's good clubs where people are good friends. You can feel success when you walk into the room with a club, or in 2 of my club's case, a Zoom meeting. You can feel the sense of family, the camaraderie. I think success is a feeling there. But of course, I have the metric of I'd like to see clubs growing and becoming more diverse. I consider Rotary a big tent. And the more people, more diversity we draw under that big tent, that big picture, the better we are. So it's seeing them draw in. And then, of course, it's seeing these clubs changing their world and changing their community and doing their service projects and things that make a difference in our world.
Do you think that it's different trying to govern a e-club as opposed to, a face-to-face club?
Yeah, it's very different. And I just became an assistant governor 6 months ago. And honestly, I feel sometimes lost with the technology, but I think it's the future. And I think we have to figure it out. I'm trying to help the clubs think through how they gain membership, or sometimes how do we come together? One of my e-clubs has members from around the country. How do we get them together physically or to do a service project? So they are different, but it's worth our effort at investing in it because they are the future.
And you're absolutely right when you say they are the future. That's where we're headed. Because if we want to attract, in fact, I think probably more young people, we will have to be willing to meet them online because they are everywhere, but they want to participate. So we'll have to think about that.
Or at least looking toward the hybrid clubs that meet online and in person, like we did in COVID. I think we had an opportunity there, and I think we're still learning that and thinking it through, but I really imagine every other group is. I know I am in the church. How do we function when half of our people aren't physically there? Same question with Rotary.
And you're so right, because I've heard that question by many in the community. How do you operate both but you're right, there are people who are doing it and doing it successfully. We just got to figure out who they are and use them as a rubric, I guess, to try to, learn from them.
Probably our membership, one of my emphases is attracting younger members. And truthfully, I would think the average 25-year-old knows the answer to these questions much better than I do.
I hear you. So what we're going to do here is take a short break, and we will be right back and talk more with Assistant District Governor of Area 5, ADG West. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We're here talking with ADG Wes Shortridge, Assistant District Governor of Area 5 in District 7610, Virginia. Wes will be serving for the 2024-25 Rotary year. ADG Wes, let's talk about some of your community projects, because I'm sure that they are numerous. What are some of your more notable ones that you like to share with us, those that you're especially proud of?
Well, the clubs that are under my leadership or that I assist, they do some really exciting stuff. Most of them do what we call Flags for Heroes, which are flags that are sponsored to support local heroes, veterans or local heroes. Almost all of them do that. Our Peace Building Club, which is an e-club, has started doing some conferences and meetings, trying to bring peace and calm between people and trying to mend division and fences. And I'm very excited about their work. We have clubs working with alleviating hunger. We had a club that just made 15,000 meals for hungry people. Connections Family Resource Center, which is a joint thing between Gainesville and Manassas, is very exciting. They've bought an RV and they've outfitted it for resourcing families, and they'll use it for counseling or classes and move it into areas that are in need and connect with families and do great things there. And that's a very exciting project. And you can find their website and see what they're up to. We have a club that does something called Camp Fantastic, which is with children suffering or fighting cancer. They bring them into a farm and spend the day giving them a great day. Very exciting what they're doing there. We have clubs that do small things, and I don't want to minimize the small things. Clubs that write thank you notes to veterans on Veterans Day or send notes, Valentine's Day cards to seniors in senior centers. And two of our clubs, Gainesville and Warrenton, work together in a big pickleball tournament, which I wasn't sure pickleball tournament would do something, but it does raise tens of thousands of dollars every year for mental health and for helping our community. So I'm very excited of the activity of these clubs and how they're changing the world.
Absolutely. And when you think about the topics that you just talked about, Camp Fantastic, kids with cancer. I mean, today we see more young people with cancer than we've ever seen. Don't know why, but I'm sure the research will eventually bear that out. But just to be there to support families going through it. Or the Veterans Day, I mean, that's huge when we think about the veterans in this area. In fact, I believe District 7610 has a veteran committee that we use, and I believe Angela Conti is heading that up. But you all are doing some amazing stuff, and I gotta say, that pickleball, that is catching on. if we don't fall down and break something, it's a
I may have the number
time.
wrong, but it was nearly $40,000 they raised in that last year for community mental health initiatives, and that's pretty good for batting a little wiffle ball around the court.
Yeah. Well, you must have had a lot of young people then who were participating.
At the event, yeah, there are actually, strangely enough, professional pickleball players. And we've had some of them show up. I'm kind of learning in this. I didn't know pickleball was a profession, but apparently it is, and it attracts quite a good crowd. And some of our clubs are pretty good fundraisers. So, and all that money goes right back into our community, divided between Gainesville and Warrenton, which we're neighbors anyhow. So.
Yeah, wonderful. I know pickleball, I hear a lot about it. Not willing to try it just yet because I don't think I can move that fast. And then I've had people who've tried it and who are now on crutches, but we just need to be ready for pickleball.
I haven't actually played it, but I'm for it.
Yeah. Hey, Wes, talk to me about your resource RV. What are they sharing? What information are they sharing when they go out?
Counseling, coaching, classes, in various topics, whether it's mental health or financial resource. And they pull it into the community and set it up as a resource center and a connection. And it's there in their community. It's there where they can find it. And I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea.
Yes, it
Not
is.
been a cheap project, and it's been quite consuming for both clubs, but it has made a huge difference.
Do they leave your area with the RV, or does it strictly just travel around your general area?
I think it mostly stays around Manassas, Prince William County.
Okay. Gotcha.
There are a lot of areas there that they work in, especially in the city of Manassas.
How about global initiatives? What are some of the things that you all are doing there?
I'm trying to get my clubs to come together and do some projects, hands-on projects. Right now, we're light in the hands-on projects. A few years ago, my club helped develop a orphanage/farm. The farm was designed to support the orphanage in Haiti, which now that Haiti has came apart, it's good to know that there's a self-supporting resource there that we were part of building. And I'm trying to get my other clubs to see how they might put their hands on a project and work with a club. The great thing about Rotary is you have clubs in almost every country. So you're not going blind into a country, you partner with a club that's already there. And so I'm really hoping this year we develop more hands-on projects, whether it's digging a well in Africa or working with polio hands-on, or whether it's another self-sustaining type farm. One of Rotary's initiatives is these projects need to be sustaining. They need to have their own means of continuing without us continually infusing them with people and money. And all of our Rotary International projects, I'm very excited about just getting my clubs to get their hands on one.
Right,
and
right.
I believe that'll happen as they come together.
And also, I think sometimes people don't realize it could just take a small idea that one might have. That's what I appreciate about Rotary, is that if it's something you're passionate about, you just present it and, lobby and get what you need to make it happen. And Rotary typically stands behind you in helping them get it off the ground.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the smallest idea. During COVID, when I was club president, we had one of our social service directors became part of the club, and she visited a local food pantry and noticed that there were no diapers or nothing for babies in the whole place. So from that, we said, let's do a baby shower for the community. We got a truck and we had announced it to the community, and people dropped off about $20,000 worth of baby supplies.
Wow.
And we were able to take them to the food pantry, and we've done that in years after that. But it started with just a Rotarian saying, there's no diapers there, a small thing. The great thing about Rotary is it multiplies. You have an idea, there are other people that can connect it, dream about it, and your small idea sometimes becomes enormous and changes more people than you could ever imagine through Rotary.
Yeah. Your club is one of those clubs I know that has a program under youth. Talk a little bit about that. I know we hear a lot about Interact, Rotaract, but I believe your club is also doing something with Early Act.
We have an Early Act, yes, that meets in a local school, which is young children. We have Interacts, used to be the Interact liaison. That's a lot of fun, Interact is. It teaches teens and teaches children, Early Act or Interact, how to lead. It teaches them how to serve, and they serve their school and community. Our Interact Club has done, the school had a courtyard in it that had become run down, and they took it on themselves to make that a study space, and planted native plants in it, and put up benches and projects that serve the community. Our Interact Club is one of the largest contributors to what we call shelter box, which are boxes packed with emergency supplies that go into disaster areas. The club has just been behind raising that in their school. They've done projects with helping people come together and learn conflict resolution. And we start that now with Early Act as early as elementary school. And hopefully these people grow up and become Rotarians that believe they can change the world.
Well, you've modeled the way, so hopefully that will happen. Membership, we know, is the key of the strength behind Rotary. What strategies might you have to offer today, one or two, that could help all other clubs think about doing to retain members?
I honestly think 99% of membership is club atmosphere. People want to go where it's fun, where it's exciting, and where we feel like we're family. There's not conflict. We live in this age where everyone's disagreeing on politics, and disagreeing on almost everything becomes a huge issue. And I think a club that can cultivate an atmosphere of looking toward the bigger things of Rotary, I think we attract and retain members best by the atmosphere of our club. Other than that, it really is just inviting good people to come and be a part of what we're doing. I think everyone needs good friends, and Rotary to me has become a place where my good friends are. I have thousands of Facebook friends and know almost everybody, but Rotary are the people that I don't have to be their pastor. They don't have to be my attorney. We're just friends. And we meet together regularly, and we journey through the good and bad of life. I think that attracts members. I think all of us could use more good friends, more people that we consider family in our life, because we all have thousands of casual so-called friends. Rotary's where the real friends are. Now, I think that drives membership, when we can come together around something bigger than we are, change our world, serve our world, but yet become friends that go through the good and bad of life together. I've been in Rotary almost 20 years, so my friends and I in my Rotary Club, we've been through some good stuff and bad stuff together. And my dad died a couple months ago, and my Rotary Club was right there around me, guiding me, helping me, walking with me. And when I've celebrated, they've celebrated with me. I think that drives membership.
Absolutely.
More than any strategy, just club atmosphere.
Yeah, and how people feel treated. You're absolutely right. Sorry for the loss of your dad. I know that's very difficult, and I appreciate your being here in the midst of all of that as well. So my thoughts.
It was made much easier with my Rotary family around me. Life becomes easier when we have good friends.
Absolutely. Well stated. And ADG West, I want to thank you for joining us today and saying yes to the ask to be here and share some of your role as the area governor. We appreciate you. Hope you'll come back again.
Anytime, Deborah. Happy to be here.
There you go. For the Rotary Times program, I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. You're welcome to join us at any Rotary Club in your area for either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or service project. You can find a club near you by looking us up on the internet. Many clubs are hosting meetings in person, virtually, or in some hybrid format. You only need to look us up for the details. Remember, and remember always, our time is your time, and it's time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 118 years of service above self. Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotarian Lynn Heinrichs, State Farm Agency, McLean, Virginia.